Welcome to another KRFC Live at Lunch, blasting into your ears from the Ginger and Baker studio in the heart of the Music District in lovely Old Town Fort Collins, Colorado, with support from Canvas Credit Union. We're on the FM dial at 88.9 in Northern Colorado, streaming at krfcfm.org. We've got a fantastic YouTube channel, so go head over to YouTube and search for KRFC RadioVision Live at Lunch, and now officially a podcast. So any podcast app, KRFC Live at Lunch, follow us. Today we bring you a top-notch Western rock and Americana act from Colorado, the Front Range of Colorado. Keep your ears peeled in 2025 as they tear it up, and now it's time for you to turn it up, crank it up, because today's artist is Hunter Stone Band. Take it away, guys.
It was somewhere in the mountains north of Santa Fe, in a Pueblo town the people go about their day, with ardent eyes and a softened smile, and the will to stay away, living like it's any other day. There's a pickup truck with people in the back. It'll go to the woman driving in front. They say it's so hard living here, and they say the same of there. But she just smiled and didn't seem to care. 6 days on the road, driving on the wheels that we call home. I'm getting a little tired of it all. This world has got me feeling so damn small. When I get a little lonely, I can see this here world is much too big for me. Now I'm trying to write a song about myself. Yeah, and I'm searching for words, but nothing's coming out. Close my eyes to think about anything at all. When I close my eyes, well, nothing seems to come. Big world that we call home. It's a big world when you're on your own. And even though they say it's pretty small, this world is so much bigger after all. When I get a little lonely, I can see this here world is much too big for me. In the mountains to the north is Santa Fe. In the mountains to the north is Santa Fe. In the mountains to the north is Santa Fe. In the mountains to the north of Santa Fe. That first tune there is called Santa Fe. It's off our album called Portraits of the New Old West. This next one's another one of those tunes. It's called Ballad of a Man with No Name. There's a storm blowing in, I can feel the clouds around me. So I drown myself with whiskey and ride into the rain. The taste of blood, the face of my sweet Emily. I close my eyes and see her once again. I can't say if I die today, and if I do, well, I have certainly lived my life. And if you lay me down in Colorado, well, they'll bury me with no name. From the cold winds of Dakota to the desert down in Tombstone, my thirst for blood was stronger than a rot-gut whiskey rye. No wanted man nor Indian could stand his ground before me. I left a trail of bloodshed, but I left no name behind. I can't say if I'll die today, and if I do, I am certainly my life. And if you lay me down in Colorado, oh, they'll bury me with no name. But something changed inside of me the night I met sweet Emily. I tasted something sweeter than before. Oh, the scars that she had shown me from the coward they called Debbie, well, I shot them down, now I'm on the run. It's been 5 long months since I've seen my sweet Emily. Each day I spend away from her is one less by her side. If only I could have one night, I'd taste her sweetness one more time and rid myself the burning of rot-gut whiskey rye. I can't say if I do, I've certainly lived my life. And if you lay me down in Colorado, well, they'll bury me with no name.
Hunter Stone Band right here in the Ginger and Baker studio. Has a little Ballad of a Man with No Name.
That's
Before that, Santa Fe.
That's right.
Kicking off this here lovely Live at Lunch, hanging out. How you guys doing?
Doing well.
Good. Doing all right.
Waking up.
Yeah. Good to see you. Yeah, usually right about this time, I like to start with just talking to everybody a little bit,
Sure.
get a feel for who everybody is,
Yeah.
and where they come from and what they bring to the band. So we'll start with the man right to my left, right here. Go clockwise. We got Hunter Stone himself in the flesh. How you doing?
Me. I'm doing well.
Good.
Doing
Good.
well.
Well, we've had a chance to talk on
Sure.
locally sourced. That was almost a year ago. I think it was March of last year.
Yeah, somewhere
something
in the
like
spring,
that.
Yeah.
Right before Foco MX, I think.
Oh yeah.
Because I remember you played acoustic for locally sourced.
Right.
And it was laid back and almost bluegrassy kind of feel to it. And then I went and saw the full band at the brewery in Fort Collins. And I was like, holy crap, these guys are tearing it up. Just full on electric. It was awesome. I brought my 12-year-old and he had a good time.
Oh yeah.
Had some
that was
sodas.
fun. No, I love Foco Max it's awesome. I love playing there, and it's like there's always just so many people and good vibes, and it's like it's nice to bring the full band and get that whole experience too.
Yeah, it was awesome. Well, let's take it back to where are you originally from?
I grew up in Massachusetts.
Okay.
And then I spent some time, about a year down in Asheville, North Carolina, and then moved out to Colorado about 10 years ago.
About 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Awesome. Into Boulder, was it?
Yeah, I moved to Boulder, and I found a lot of really good people, like right off the bat.
Yeah.
Just like kind of found my people really quick, and just started playing gigs almost immediately. And I did a little busking when I first started out. I was playing on the street, and then quickly was in bars and
it's always an interesting thing. Boulder busking.
Yeah,
it's fun.
I actually I did pretty well with it. I had this like cajon that I set up and like a snare drum, and I was kicking that and playing a resonator.
Nice.
And doing
Whole
a lot
outfit,
of slide and like blues and stuff.
That's sweet. It's interesting. Busking it just reminds me of like watching a river go by.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just a river of people.
Yeah, it's great people watching.
Moving.
If you can, like, I put on sunglasses. I don't do it as much anymore, but it's still fun to go out there and
people will say the darndest things to you.
Yeah. Well, the nice thing about busking too is like there's the instant feedback. Is if they like you, they'll give you $1.
They'll give you $1,
and if they really like you,
watch.
They'll give you 5, 10, 20.
I always used to set up just like 50 feet away from the big climbing rocks in Boulder.
Oh yeah, that's a good.
Because the kids, even if the parents aren't listening, the kids want to give you $1.
Right, and that's you got to exploit the children,
exactly.
Right? I'm a school teacher by trade, also, so I know all about exploiting children. Just kidding.
Bring in $1. Bring in $1.
That's what I do. Bring it into my class.
That's hilarious. So,
also, right by the what is it? The fountain that sprays up there. That's like Kid City.
Yeah, all over there.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Kids have parents. Parents have money.
Exactly. That's where it comes from.
Kids are good at getting money out of their parents.
They are. I got one. I know.
Exactly.
Dad, can I give the guy $1? Sure.
Why not?
The guy deserves $1. Yeah. So did you start playing music then in Massachusetts? Were you playing? I think we talked about this before.
Yeah.
Were you playing in Boston area? Is that what it was?
Yeah, about an hour outside of Boston's where I grew up, and I went to college out like an hour farther from there, so like 2 hours from Boston. But I played in bands, through high school and, in Massachusetts area. And then, I got kind of more and more into like solo music and writing on acoustic guitar.
Were you in a punk band originally?
No, I was in like
a rock band,
like a jam funk band.
Jam funk band. Okay.
And then I played in an Irish band for a while with like a bunch of guys that were a lot older than me, which probably is like my age now.
They were so old.
Yeah, they were like the 40. Young gun.
Yeah,
but that was fun. It was good to like just see music in different places and just kind of like see people in different lives, points of their life playing music. And now it's like I feel like you get to learn a lot when you're playing with different musicians. So it's like all these guys I learn from, and they've all played with different people, and
they're all over the place.
Enough about me.
What one more thing. What were your initial inspirations for wanting to play music? What was some early tunes you were rocking when you were a kiddo?
Well, the main story that got me like into guitar was my dad and my grandfather. He lived with us, and my mom. They all played a bit, just cowboy chords. But there'd always be guitars around the house, and my grandfather had this 12-string guitar that he would like pull out at the family parties and play like the same 3 or 4 songs, and sing these old 1930s and 40s crooner kind of things. And but we went on this big trip out to Colorado. Actually, we flew out to Denver and drove in an RV down to the Four Corners all the way up to Glacier National Park, and like spent a month in this RV. And this is, pre cell phones, pre anything. So whenever we would camp out for the night, we brought my dad's guitar, and all we had was like a couple Bob Dylan chord books and an acoustic guitar. And me and my brother would pass it back and forth and try and learn some tunes. And then
on the spot.
Yeah. And then like kind of, after that, we got like the internet at my family's house, and then we just could like have access to all this stuff.
Anything.
Yeah.
Nice.
But I think it was just kind of like the curiosity of just having something on a stand. My parents never really pushed music on me, but it was always like there and available. And they were really helpful. Like once I actually started to like get into it on my own, just, really supportive and,
awesome.
Coming to my gigs at like,
Thanks, Mom.
1 a.m. in Boston. We'd be like the last of 5 bands. At
the Bullfinch Yacht Club.
Church. That was one place I remember playing. Did you ever play there in college?
Where?
Church?
Yeah.
Church.
In Boston, I never played there.
Yeah, it's like the whole thing in Boston is like you get like hour slots, and they never really put together the music like.
Yeah, I did like the All Asia. I did that for.
Yeah,
and that was my first real gig, was All Asia in Boston, or it was Cambridge, I guess, but.
Yeah,
Abbey
Cambridge
Lounge,
cool
old school.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, thanks for being here. Thanks for bringing us your songs.
Pleasure.
We've got Forrest Raup on the drums, and the sweeping brooms, I think, is the name for those, right?
Yeah, something like that.
The sweeping brooms.
Good old broomsticks here.
That's the biggest brush I've ever seen.
I feel so silly playing these things, but they sound cool.
If you want to see what we're talking about and you're only listening, KRFC YouTube RadioVision, check it out right now. Where are you originally from, Forrest?
I grew up in right here in Colorado, in Boulder.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. And, that's the end of the story.
Bada bing, bada boom.
So what was your initial inspiration for playing music? What brought you to the drums?
Very similar story to Hunter here, actually. Like, my dad is a fantastic musician, more of a hobbyist these days, but he took it very seriously in his younger years. And he always had his old drum set up at the house. So, like, I always kind of had access to it, but like Hunter said, same thing. They never really pushed it on me. They just kind of left it for me to get into on my own.
You're allowed to use it if you want to.
Exactly. And then eventually they had to tell me to shut up. But yeah, so my dad was always, kind of introducing me to rock music. And I really was drawn to like all the classic rock staples when I was pretty young, like around 10 or 11. And that's when I really was kind of inspired to start picking up the sticks and take it a little more seriously.
Nice. Beatles and Led Zeppelin. And
oh yeah. Zeppelin was the big one for sure.
That seems
still is.
Yeah. the drummer way to go.
Indeed. Yeah.
Awesome. And did you travel anywhere else? And did you live anywhere else between moving to being from Boulder and living in or around Boulder?
Yeah. Well, I live in Denver now, and I have for probably 7-8 years. I went to the Berklee College of Music for 1 year.
Nice.
So I lived in Boston for a very short stint.
Yeah. What year was that?
That was 2013.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yeah.
I knew some people there, but it was a little earlier.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, it was a great year. Great experience.
Good town and a good school to learn music at.
Oh yeah, very transformative years.
Nice.
Indeed.
Awesome.
Or year.
Yeah, and you play in a bunch of other bands too. What name some? Throw out the band names, and also this is the finale of your time here. You're moving to New York, so give a shout out to all your bands that you play with and thank them.
Oh yeah, I mean
lunch.
all the gotta shout out to all the local loves. Obviously the Hunters. We have Hunter Stone, and I play with another Hunter named Hunter James and the Titanic.
Yeah.
It's his group. Done a lot of recording with him this past year. The band Little Trips.
Oh yeah.
I've been doing some recording with them. This year it was mostly studio stuff that I did with other local bands, and then there were actually 2 other bands that I toured with, and I was on the road for about like 5 or 6 months this year with a couple different acts, which were this band called Twen. And that band's kind of nomadic. We're based all over the country, and we kind of come together to tour. And then I've toured with an Irish group called Celtic Thunder.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, so that was kind of
Little
what I was
group
up to.
called Celtic Thunder.
Yeah, that's what I was up to this year.
Awesome. And Little Trips was previously Whiskey Autumn.
That's right.
Whiskey Autumn. Yeah, played some shows with them way back in the day.
Awesome. Yeah.
Awesome.
Taking it back to the Boulder days.
Yeah. And did you play in Dream Machine?
I did not play in that band. No. Augustus is another local group that I've played a good amount with.
Yeah, those guys are great. Love those guys. Awesome. Well, Forrest, thanks for spending your wee hours of time in Colorado with us.
Oh, my pleasure.
Live at lunch. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
You know what? Why don't we play 2 more songs, then we'll get back and introduce the rest of the band. But we'll just keep rocking and then come back and chat with Kevin and Jonah before. We've already heard Jonah's story so many times.
Yeah,
so
you can
many
just
times.
watch the other ones.
But we can hear it again. What do we got next?
Well, we got a tune called Mars, and then we're going to do a new one that just released early December called Tiny Snowflakes.
Awesome. It's Hunter Stone Band, everybody.
Well, I've been around this world for so long. It's easy to see what went wrong. Sitting in the breakdown lane of a derelict old interstate, watching stars and car red lights pass by. Well, I drove straight through the night from Tennessee. Some sort of modern manifest destiny. Broke down in the old frontier, the spirit of the West is near, but all that I can think about is Mars. Well, I've seen the moon, I've seen the Milky Way, but when I saw her, I never felt the same. Glowing in the distant near, a reddish hue, it calls me there. I think it might be a better place to start. But are there schools there and little girls with green hair? And do they all talk with their minds? I hear there's land there, maybe even oil. All I need's a little drill. I'm gonna get me some of that oil. And if you want to join me, well, I think you should join me. Tiny snowflakes dancing in the air. It's getting cold out there. I guess it's just this special time of year to cuddle up and go nowhere. So go and put your cozies on, you know the working day is done. And I am here with you, you are here with me. Know that this is all I'll ever need. And as the snow is falling, I'll tell you this, my darling, stay with me and never, ever leave. Well, come on close and lay your head on me. Soon we'll be sipping tea and picking out a movie. Turn the silence on your phone, 'cause finally we're all alone. And I am here with you, you are here with me. Know that this is all I'll ever need. And as the snow is falling, I'll tell you this, my darling, stay with me and never, ever leave. The snow is falling, winter's calling, cuddle close to me. Oh, never, ever leave. And as the snow is falling, I'll tell you this, my darling, stay with me and never, ever leave. And I am here with you, you are here with me. Know that this is all I'll ever need. And as the snow is falling, I'll tell you this, my darling, stay with me and never, ever leave.
Hunter Stone Band playing here on Live at Lunch. That's Tiny Snowflakes. And before that, Mars. Mars. There were the tiniest of snowflakes this morning at my house. The sun was like, whoa, it's snowing. And it was just like barely anything.
It was just like a weird
Still
frost
waiting,
coming up
yeah.
from 287. Just like at one point, it just turned into like this weird icicle that was across everything.
Frozen fog.
And fog, like crazy fog, yeah.
It's been wild lately. Crazy weather.
Wicked
fog.
guy.
Kevin Johnson on the bass. Keep going clockwise here. How are you?
Pretty well, man.
Good.
Yeah,
Thanks for rocking our faces.
sure thing. These guys are great.
Yeah, how are you?
Yeah, man, pretty good.
You rocking?
Interesting new year.
Yeah.
Maybe
So-
intentions instead
Yeah.
of resolutions, but
Yeah, it is early in the new year,
it is.
making things happen. Where are you from originally?
Northeast Ohio area.
Okay.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I'm sort of between Cleveland and Akron.
Okay,
So,
cool.
a lot
I'm
of
from
people there.
Detroit, so
Okay,
fairly
really.
close. Fairly close there.
I ended up going to Bowling Green, so I went up to Detroit a lot.
Yeah.
Going to school there
Yeah.
later on.
Did you go to the casinos and stuff?
Oh yeah, yeah. I was
Yeah,
a big casino.
casinos. That's
Playing gigs in casinos. Yeah.
nice. That's what I would always go to the casino, and I never gambled, so I would just go have a free drink at the bar while I would put a quarter in. At the,
Smoking cigs in there.
Not at that time. I was done. Done with that by then.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it was always fun. There was always a good jazz band at where I don't even know where we went, but Always a good jazz band.
Yeah, I was working it out in college. Yeah.
Yeah. So what was your initial inspiration for playing music? What got you into? Was bass your first instrument?
Yeah, it was technically trombone for a while, which is an interesting transition a lot of guys do from way early on.
Yeah.
You know, whatever that is when we start
Is it
playing.
because you can
picking
still
an
go?
instrument. Yeah, right. Yeah. Something like
Exactly. Very trombone-y.
it is. Yeah. I
That's
could
awesome.
get that low.
So did you play trombone and?
I kept playing
school
that, but
band, or-
yeah, so I got into electric bass for sure first.
Okay.
And I think that leads to guitar and kind of wanting to figure out what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
And now I'm just so deep in
So
the
deep.
guitar. I just on my own, but not in band. So
Nice. Were you playing in jazz band then?
I wasn't an early jazz guy. I got into it in college as kind of like a way to get into other kinds of music. I
Okay.
guess. You learn
Cool.
so much about harmony in the same way that people say, are you classically trained or did you study in a university? It's like, it gives you so much information
Yeah.
about feel, about harmony, about playing with other people, about
Chords nobody
responding
knows
to
what they
things,
mean.
as opposed to being like really stuck. So you just almost trains you to like listen as a
Yeah.
musician in a way that's very different than maybe even like orchestral playing, which you're doing a ton of, but it's like this very like you're reading a lot, reading notation and
Yeah.
But yeah.
Cool. And so were you playing bass and trombone in in jazz bands?
A little bit, but yeah, I started with. We've talked last time around a little bit about the jam band scene early on.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I probably saw the Dead, Grateful Dead when Jerry was still alive. Like an uncle took me to a show pretty early on. I was
Okay.
super young, and then Fish later. But I think it was really in high school. I started a band with a buddy who's still there now, but he just had such a. I mean, it was CDs then, but we were watching all the Floyd stuff and all the classic rock, like old footage before YouTube was a normal
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
even remotely. A lot of CDs, and he got, I think, like for high school, like to get into Zappa and some of this stuff that was all this sort of essential listening, but it was just all over the map.
Yeah.
Rush and Yes and all this stuff that like really was over my head at the time, and I listen to now, and it's like got nostalgic value, but it's still
Over
it's
here.
pretty astounding. It's
Yeah,
like,
it's
wow.
it's amazing. Yeah, especially
It's like
Zappa.
Chris Squires playing bass and singing those things. That's insane.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what brought you to? Are you in Boulder now or in Denver?
I'm in Longmont at the moment.
Longmont, okay.
But I met
What brought you
Hunter
this way?
very early on in my time here in Colorado, but in Boulder.
Okay.
And yeah, it was a road trip. It was one of these, sounds a little, I don't know, cliche or something, but yeah,
Yeah.
I was sort of traveling across the country, and it kind of didn't ever have intentions necessarily to check out Colorado or live here. It was
Yeah.
maybe more like Pacific Northwest bound, but I stayed.
Yeah. On
And I'm
on
still
fish
here.
tour.
No, it wasn't that. I kind of
Just for
grew
the
out of that pretty
heck of
early
it.
on, but
Yeah.
it's still there, I
like,
mean,
I
there's
need
a
to
handful
shower,
of
I'm
people in
done.
this room that still go to Dick's every year.
Yes. Yeah. It's fun. I haven't been in a long time, but it is a wild.
Oh, right. You're too busy trying to catch the Sphere shows. That's right.
Oh man. Did anybody go to the Sphere?
I went to one of the
Yeah,
nights.
Jonah
Yeah.
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 This is our thing here.
Wild.
We talk about fish.
We talked about fish.
I don't know why it keeps coming out.
Yeah. Well, the
As much
Sphere
as I
was,
try to avoid it.
I know.
somehow,
I did it to segue for where you know.
Speaking of fish,
Yeah,
let's
so
talk
Jonah.
to Jonah Wisniewski
Every
here.
time.
He's been on a handful of times. Before we move on to you, Kevin, are you in any other bands at the moment?
Yeah, many.
Many. What do you
and
got?
I don't just say that way, but yeah, actually, I play with other Hunter quite a bit, which gets
Okay.
confusing. Hunter James and the
Hunter
Titanic.
James.
I've done some stuff with Forrest. I'm on a couple tracks here and there. David Lawrence is a guy I work with a lot, and there's probably a bunch of people I could think of off, if I were going deeper, but those
Yeah.
are as of recent.
The main.
And to be honest, like I don't hide behind it or have any shame about it, but I do like a lot of, I work. This is all I do. So
Yeah.
I play in plenty of, I say corporate, but like private event bands. And I love that stuff too.
Yeah, that's
And
fun.
I love playing jazz with, there's a guy, Adam Bodine, that's a great
Yeah, he's
jazz.
good.
He's fantastic.
Yeah.
And he's been a big influence on just like, nurturing that part. So yeah.
Yeah.
Those
Was
are a
he
couple
doing
shout-outs.
the silent film festival?
I wouldn't put it past him. Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you were part of that too at the Lyric
I
up
haven't
here.
been
There was like
yeah.
a silent, or it was the Horsetooth Film Festival, but
Oh,
there
very
was like a silent film thing where it was live
Sweet.
film, and yeah, because
He
he
was doing the
does.
soundtrack.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
sick.
I love it. Yeah.
I'm pretty
I'd
sure
love
he
to be
did it.
involved. We'll see if I get the call.
Yeah, exactly. Just throwing it out there. I think
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
a connection for you. I can figure that out.
So yeah, I mean, there's many, and there's a great, amazing community here. I found. I
Yeah.
feel like between everyone, I use this term like the network and webs are always, the branches are always extending, and you piece together, someone, and that's just music globally, and I feel like nationally, but it's just like this guy, and you've played in this band, and then I finally got to meet you, and it's great. I mean, that's what community is, and that's really important in music.
It's a scene.
So, it's a scene.
Yeah, it's awesome. Awesome. Back to Jonah. Welcome back again.
Thank you.
Just right off the bat, you're in a handful of other bands. Who do you play with?
Yeah. I play with King Cardinal, and then a bunch of different sort of singer-songwriters. Obviously, Hunter. I play with a great singer-songwriter named Brianna Strott.
Mm-hmm.
Another Jenny Shawhan. We've been in doing this with her. I just did a whole record with this guy, Dano Simpson.
Yeah.
Really great. Really excited for that to come out. And then kind of like do my own thing here and there, much like Kevin, kind of working gigs. And, sometimes I'm playing solo acoustic and stuff, or just kind of random gigs where I'm subbing for people, just whatever.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, thanks for coming in once again.
Yeah, of course.
Appreciate you being in here. Where are you from again originally?
I'm from Maine originally.
Maine, okay.
Yep.
Awesome. And so what brought you to the Front Range?
So
Besides
initially, it wasn't that, believe it or not. Initially, just growing up in Maine, you would I think I started skiing when I was like 2 or 3, which is a common thing for people that live kind of near the mountains. Yeah. And so right after high school ended, I just wanted to do like the ski bum thing.
Yeah.
So I came out and I was living in Leadville for a year and working at Copper Mountain. And that had come together because my family had come out here a few times when I was younger. And I think when I was like 14, we were out here once, and I was just like, oh yeah, this is where I'm moving. So I kind of knew at that point that I would move here. And then when it was time to figure out college, I sort of specifically applied to places here, deferred, lived in Leadville, did the ski thing for a bit, and then went to school in CU Boulder.
Okay.
And then moved down to Denver after that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's a fun time.
Yeah.
Skiing.
It's great. I got my, 90 something days or something like that. And it was just like, I was 19 years old living in this
Living the dream,
terrible apartment, just skiing every day. It was incredible. And I really am grateful that my parents really were like encouraged me to go do something like that. They're like, you don't have to go to school. You can do something else for a bit.
You can go be a ski bum.
Yeah. So it was a kind of an obvious choice for me. And I've been here for like 20 something years now.
Yeah.
Which is wild.
Nice.
Yeah.
And who were some of your initial inspirations for picking up instruments? For playing guitar.
So, I think it seems common. You grow up in a house and there's lots of like classic rock. I feel like some of my earliest memories were like hearing like Cream and Eric Clapton. My dad was big on it, and like blues and stuff.
Yeah.
And so that was like kind of an early one for me. I had an older brother, so he had like all the tapes, you know what I mean? Like, and so I remember hearing like, gosh, I don't know. I feel like Red Hot Chili Peppers was one I remember hearing really early on, and being like, that. I think that was like the first time I heard swears.
Yeah.
Whoa,
you can do that.
It's like, you're like, it's bad, but you're like, I kind of like this.
Kind of like it.
And then I did like, I think being on the East Coast in the 90s, my brother introduced me to Phish when I was probably 10, and then took me to a show when I was like 11.
Yeah,
and it's like, it was so early on for me in listening to music. That I just like, it just opened me up to a lot of stuff. It was like all these different styles.
You can play jazz and
big, long improv, and it was like, I didn't understand any of it, but I liked it a lot, you know, and I felt like that was like a gateway to all this other music.
It's like whatever riff is, I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
That song.
Well, I was like, I remember hearing like they would play like their interpretation of a bluegrass song, and then like later I learned that bluegrass was like an entire genre.
Yeah, it's a whole
I was like,
thing.
oh, I like this.
Yeah,
I've heard them do it. I like this.
Yeah.
So that was a big gateway for me, and I kind of like messed around on instruments a little bit growing up, but it didn't really stick at all. And then when I was in that year off, I was like, I think I'd been seeing a lot of live music in high school, and I was like, I'm gonna buy a guitar and like really try to learn how to play. And then once I did that, it just was like, that was it.
Yeah, I think you learned it.
I'm working on it.
It's always a work in progress.
Yeah.
But you're good.
Thank you.
All right.
Stick with it.
Well, yeah, stick with it, kid. Hunter Stone Band here on Live at Lunch. Let's hear a couple more songs, and we'll chat briefly in 2 more songs, and we'll wrap it up from there. What do you got for us next?
Let's do.
Oh, and you know what? While you're thinking about that, I just wanted to give a shout out to our crew, who are awesome and amazing people every week. Eric Delano and Dan Perez working on videography today. Colton Boening and Greg Douras are working on the sound today. And always love working with these guys. They help everybody put on a great show. So thank you.
Yeah, and at home you can't really tell, but there's a lot of stuff in this room. They're doing a lot of things all at once. It's pretty cool. There's all these cameras set up.
Got a good crew.
Sound, everything. Camera, action.
Here we go.
We're going to do a newer tune. Kind of been working on some newer stuff and hopefully going to release some of it in the next year. This one's called Fire and Ice. For my lovely wife. Is the world on fire? Or is it cold as ice? Filled up on desire, our greatest vice. Can you feel the hate? Can you taste the greed? Do you still have hope for you and me? Tell me, baby, are you sure what we're really fighting for? What is the answer? What is the cure? I love you, babe, and that's for sure. Water's rising, cities burn, witches spinning in this crazy world. Can you still find hope? It's coming through the green. And are we fighting for it, or just fighting? Tell me, baby, are you sure? 'Cause we're just spinning in this crazy world. What is the answer? What are we fighting for? I love you, babe, and that's for sure. Tell me, baby, are you sure? 'Cause we're just spinning and spinning in this crazy world. What is the answer? What are we fighting for? I love you, babe, and that's for sure.
nice. This is Hunter Stone Band here on Live at Lunch. Going to do a little guitar trade-off here to the silver and black electric guitar.
I also play electric guitar. I love when you're playing
don't pigeonhole me, man.
You're playing at a bar or something. Someone's like, "Do you also play the electric guitar?" I'm like, yes, I do. It is very similar.
You have to relearn all the chords, though.
I know, yeah. It's like totally.
Sounds electric.
It's definitely electric.
It's electric.
Woogie. All right. Oh, my love.
Yeah, dude.
Who's counting this one in?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2.
Hunter Stone Band on Live at Lunch here. Thanks for coming in, guys. We'll try to squeeze in 2 more songs, but real quick, you said, Hunter, that you're coming out with some new music. You're working on some new stuff, some of those songs you played today.
Yeah, those last two.
Last 2.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, all
haven't
My
been
Life
released
there,
yet.
and then Fire and Ice.
Yeah.
Nice. So you heard it here first, folks. What do we got next?
We're going to do a couple originals here. This one's called Can't Escape. And then we're going to close it out with one called Closed for Season. So Can't Escape's a newer one, and Closed for Season is on the previous album.
Awesome.
Painted where they're from. It's getting too damn cold for them to come. I could stay with you. Springtime comes. We could hibernate till fall and lay ourselves a pilot down and set out to retire. Wake up in the night to tend the fire. We got the stuff to make the winter, and I am miles to go before I'm sleeping. I'm better around enough to see where there always is a reason, yeah. Shut it all down and close the season. I could stay right here beside the fire. Cuddle up real close with my guitar. Been around enough to see where there always is a reason, yeah. To shut it all down and close the season. So turn off all the water valves, keep the pipes from freezing. See you all next year. We'll close for season. 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 Close for season.
Thank you for listening to Live at Lunch, and thank you to the Music District here in the heart of Fort Collins, Colorado. Live at Lunch is produced by KRFC 88.9 FM in the Ginger and Baker studio. If you'd like to appear on Live at Lunch, email our music director, David Vacek, at david@krfcfm.org.